President Trump isn't quite recently down in the surveys by and by, so are some of his approaches. Following a half-year in office, Trump's endorsement rating is only 37% in the Gallup day-by-day survey, and he's hit record lows in different reviews. In the meantime, some of his approaches have additionally surveyed ineffectively, while a modest bunch have scored well in reviews. Here's a speedy take, a gander at where Trump's strategies remain in the surveys, altogether from most to slightest prevalent. Banning travel from 6 Muslim-majority countries, 60% support. In January, Trump presented a travel restriction on guests from 6 transcendently Muslim nations. The official request confronted long stretches of legitimate and political challenges, and hazy general conclusion. Clashing surveys differently revealed both help and objection to the measure. In any case, a July POLITICO, Morning Consult survey announced completely that 60% of respondents bolstered the reexamined adaptation of the strategy. Utilizing a skills-based immigration system, 60% support. In August, Trump reported his help for the RAISE Act, a long-shot Senate charge that would change the migration framework to all the more intensely consider factors like English capability and higher educations. In a Politico, Morning Consult survey, 60% of respondents supported such a framework. Lessening legal immigration, 48% support. The RAISE Act would likewise lessen lawful migration significantly, finished the following decade. The Politico, Morning Consult review taken after Trump reported his help for the bill found that 48% of voters backed the decrease in lawful settlers, while 39% restricted it. Canceling Obamacare without a replacement, half against. In late June, Trump tweeted that Senate Republicans should quickly repeal Obamacare, and afterward pass a substitution charge at a later date. But that move, which would in the long run be tried in the Senate's fizzled endeavor to pass a thin nullification charge, is disliked. 50% of voters in a Politico, Morning Consult survey said they contradicted an annulment without substitution, while only 36% communicated bolster. Cutting Medicaid, 53% against. In spite of the fact that he promised not to touch Medicaid on the battlefield, Trump upheld human services charges in Congress that would have cut the protection program for bring down salary Americans drastically. A Politico, Morning Consult survey in June found that 53% of voters protested the diminishments in Medicaid. Just 27% upheld the cuts. Accepting transgender troops, 58% against. In July, Trump startlingly reported by means of Twitter that transgender individuals would be banned from serving in the military in any way, referring to colossal restorative expenses and disturbance. Days after the fact, a Reuters, Ipsos supposition survey found that 58% trusted that transgender individuals ought to be permitted to serve. Just 27% said they ought not be permitted to serve. Leaving the Paris climate deal, 62% against. In May, Trump declared that the United States would pull back from the Paris Understanding, satisfying a battle guarantee to occupy financing far from environmental change. 62% of voters in a Quinnipiac survey said they objected to the president's choice to pull back from the understanding. Just 32% upheld the thought. Building the border wall, 64% against. Trump's require a divider along the Mexican fringe was one of his significant crusade guarantees, and his proposed 2018 spending plan incorporated a demand for $1.6 billion to start development. Be that as it may, a May overview by Quinnipiac found that 64% of voters restrict building the divider, up from 55% who contradicted it in November. Just 33% bolstered the thought.